I got a little something special, a different Rickey Smiley Unleashed for you this morning. I'm gonna give y'all like this fabulous, awesome recipe. I made some oxtails last night, and I would like to share it with you for all of my oxtail fans out there. Nothing fancy, just Rickey Smiley, old school oxtails with some color. But it's a few things you're gonna need, and once you invest in this, you can have this forever. So I want everybody to go. You can go get one at Cracker Barrel, or you could go to Walmart and get you a cast iron pot. Cast iron pot. Find you a cast iron pot. A big, heavy ass cast iron pot. I'm going to teach you how to, and then you're going to need a cast iron skillet to cook these oxtails just right. I'm talking about the best tasting oxtail. You can go to RS Comedy and see the results on my Instagram. First of all, a lot of people cook oxtail, they just throw them in, but I'm going to teach you, shout out to Zaza, who taught me how to cook it, to make these oxtails. She's a truck and bus driver or whatever. She's the driver, the Rickey Smiley Morning Show tour bus or whatever, and she is so awesome. But listen, take your oxtails after you have washed them off, put it in a bowl, get some onion powder, sprinkle a lot of onion powder on your oxtails, then put some Tony's seasoning on there, sprinkle that on there, then sprinkle you some Lawry's garlic salt, and take your hands and rub it and massage it in the oxtails real good. And go ahead and put it in your cast iron skillet that's got some olive oil in there. Don't cook it with grease. Go ahead and use some olive oil and fry those oxtails on each side. It's called caramelizing. Caramelize those oxtails. It's going to have your whole house smelling good, and you're going to be ready to eat one right then, but it's not ready because you know those oxtails tough as I don't know what. So after you caramelize them, get them golden brown, take them out with some tongs or whatever, and drop them off in the pot. Go ahead and get you some Better Than Bouillon. The roasted chicken Better Than Bouillon, and they have the beef Better Than Bouillon. Take the 1 jar of beef Better Than Bouillon and take a spoon and pour all that in there. Fill it up with water with the oxtails. Put it in the oven for 3.5 hours, maybe 4. When that's done, take it out, add some water. So let me tell y'all something. When y'all cook, you're going to need some plastic spoons. Always keep you a cup of plastic spoons so you can taste. If you don't have good broth, you don't have good greens. If you don't have good broth, you don't have good oxtails. If you don't have good broth, you don't have good cabbage, because greens is greens, oxtails is oxtails, and cabbage is cabbage. It's the broth that gives it the flavor. Okay? Got that part? So you got your little spoon. So if your broth too strong, add water. So after you add water or whatever, go ahead and put your cut up potatoes in there, and then put your sweet carrots, the little baby sweet carrots, those sweet peppers, and some onions and some bell peppers in there. Put it in the oven for 30 more minutes. And once it gets boiling, just take it out and sit it on top of the stove, and it will just cook and marinate itself. So if you want to see how it turned out, you can go to RS Comedy on my Instagram, and that's old-fashioned oxtails with a lot of color. Oh, man, the peppers and the onions and the broth and the seasoning. You already season it real good because that's what you cook the meat in. You kind of caramelize it so it has so much flavor with the bouillon, and get all that mixed in there. And you talking about some of the best oxtails. I was up at midnight. I went to bed early while they cooked. I got up, added those potatoes. It took about 30 more minutes in the oven, and I just let it sit up there. And man, I kind of let it sit out overnight. Got up about before I came to the radio station and took it out and put it in the refrigerator. Those oxtails are perfect. All I have to do is heat and eat today. So that's your recipe. We'll make sure that this recipe is on RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. And if you want to see the results, just go to RS Comedy on my IG page and check it out. I hope y'all enjoy that. Just a nice little recipe, but get you some olive oil, cast iron skillet and a cast iron pot. That cast iron pot holds heat and it's good to fry chicken in too. You ain't had no chicken until you fry some in a cast iron pot. Okay, so make sure you get that. I hope y'all enjoyed that recipe. I hope it worked. I know I'm making you hungry right now. And they are so good. And if you want to just add you a little couple of handful of rice in there or whatever, if you like your oxtails real junky and you want to add you a little bit of rice, 2 or 3 handfuls of rice in there, you can do that too. Just throw that in there at the end and mix it in there before you let it set. Not sit.
Sat.
Sat.
Past tense.
S-A-T. Sat. Let it sat there. And boy, you talking about some good eating. And I will be thinking about you as I'm eating my oxtails for lunch. And I hope you go get you a cast iron pot and a big cast iron skillet and some olive oil and caramelize those oxtails before you bake them. All right? There it is, y'all. Gary got to see you in the clue today. Coming up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show.